Welcome back to my weekly rants where we talk about what's hot, what's not, and everything in between. It's your girl Dominica. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for sticking with me. Thank you for all you newbies. It's been a minute. It's been a minute since I said that intro, so let's just sit with it for a minute. Let's just sit with it. Yeah, it's been a minute, and I'm coming to you today with a lot. I said, you know what, this calls for a video. Okay, from the title you can see, you guys, I lost my notary stamp and my soul left my body. My soul left my body. Okay, before we get into this story, make sure you like, share, subscribe. Definitely leave me some comments because I need to hear from y'all on this. Have any of you been in this situation before? Has anybody else out there lost your notary stamp? Did your soul leave your body like mine did today? Drop down in the comments and let's talk about it. But before we get into the story, you guys, I'm sorry for this. I had to bust out some wine, okay? So all my old school folks who've been with me for a minute, y'all know I like to take a sip. I've been drinking a lot of water lately, but today, F the water, we need some wine, okay? So let me, hold on. I got the rest of this shard that I need to finish off, and it's so good. It's called Unruly. It's a California shard, and we about to bust this open. I just need a straw, really. I could just drink the rest of this out the bottle, but I do have a glass. So, yeah. Drop down, let me know what y'all doing. Pour you something. I'm just gonna pour the rest. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna pour the rest. It's the end of this bottle anyway. Cheers. Stop what you're doing. Make sure you go pour you a glass of wine, water, tea, coffee, whatever you need to get through this video. But I'm gonna go ahead with a glass of wine. So cheers. Let's get into the video. So first of all, I've missed you guys. I've been doing a lot of short form content. I think a lot of us have. But like I said, baby, this needed a long form. This needed a video. Okay, so you guys, let me take a deep breath. So today, I take a last minute signing, a last minute in-office seller signing for one of my #1 clients. Their office happens to be 5 minutes from my house. Favorite type of signings, right? So I'm like, cool. Got the documents printed, got to the office. My signers, they were probably like 10 minutes behind me. I was in the office shooting the breeze when my escrow officer were catching up. Clients come in, they sit down. I do my regular song and dance. Hey, can I see your ID? You know, I get all my stuff out, or so I thought. Start putting all my stuff on my bag, and I have everything but my notary stamp. Okay, I'm gonna take a sip. Now, I'm gonna show you guys my notary bag. It's you've probably seen it before. You know, it's sometimes things, you know, my notary stamp may get like shuffled around or lost a little bit, but it's not, I don't keep a messy bag, so it's pretty straightforward. Okay, pretty straightforward. This is my notary bag. Okay, pretty straightforward. These are extra notarial certificates, my journal, my stamp. Thank you, Jesus, is in here now. I found it, so spoiler alert, I found it, but we're gonna get to the details. I got pens, I got my business cards, I got my little thumb. Anyways, you guys, it's not, and everything has its place. Everything has a compartment. And so, like I said, every now and then I'm rushing and I'll just throw the stamp in there. So I figured, okay, maybe I just threw it in there and I'm overlooking it. You guys, first of all, this was so embarrassing because my clients are present and I'm shuffling through my bag like a maniac, because at this point I'm like, oh, it's got to be in here. It's got to be in here. So long story short, it wasn't in my bag. Wasn't in my bag. I embarrassingly searched through my bag 4 to 5 times in front of these people, and they were looking at me like, get it together, honey. Okay, so I'm like, oh my god, you guys, I'm so sorry, this has never happened before. Let me go outside and look at my car, because I'm thinking, okay, maybe it rolled out of my bag somehow. So I go out, which I know that's not very likely, but you know, when you can't find something, you get desperate. So I go out, I go to my car, not in there. Let me take a sip, y'all. I can't, this was so stressful, so stressful. Not in my car. So while I'm outside, I immediately call one of my notaries. Thankfully, I have an amazing signing service. I have an amazing group of notaries. I have some notaries that are really close friends of mine that I can be super transparent with. So I call my number one notary, who also lives right in the area. She sent me the voicemail. I was like, oh my god. I looked at my text messages. She's like, I can't talk, text me. So I'm like, oh my god, I have an emergency. I'm at this office, please come help me. I can't find my notary stamp. She's like, okay, give me 30 minutes. That right there, whew, I could take a breath. Then I call my husband. I'm like, okay, please go upstairs, look in my office, see if you can find my notary stamp. I'm at this signing, what the F. He goes in my office, he's like, it's not here. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe he's just not looking good enough. It's in my office. I'm not really too stressed. I have a notary coming to cover for me. So my primary focus was, is the signing going to get done? We got that covered. She's 30 minutes away. Cool. But then I'm in my mind panicking like, oh my god, where is this stamp? So I'm like, I realized today is Tuesday, for reference. Today is Tuesday. And I looked at my notary journal. I realized the last time I did a signing was on Saturday. So I'm like, okay, let me see if it's at the signer's house from Saturday. But I'm thinking, if I left it at their house, they would have called me by now, right? But I also remember the last signer, that house that I was at Saturday, they had one of those tables we were signing at, and it was pretty junky. No offense to them. But, you know, everything's turned in my mind like, oh god, it's very likely I left it on their table, because there was a ton of stuff on the table. And if I had left it, they probably didn't notice, because there's so much stuff on the table. So I'm like, okay, let me get back in here to these people. They're looking at me. I'm like, no, I didn't find it. But I have a colleague. She's on her way. She's 20-30 minutes out. Thankfully, this couple was so understanding. They were like, you know what, don't worry about it. We're going to run a Jamba Juice. Get us a Jamba Juice. We'll be right back. I'm like, shh. So while they're gone, let me take another sip, you guys, because this story is a hot mess. Okay, a hot mess. So while they're gone, I call the signer who I was with Saturday. They didn't answer. Send them a text message. Didn't answer. So I figured they're probably working, whatever, right? Let me take another sip. So I let some time pass. I call them again. I'm like, I explained the situation. Could you please look on your table? She's like, you know what? I'm on my way home from work. As soon as I get home, I'll look. You guys, she gets home. She calls me back like 10 minutes later. She's like, yeah, it's here on my table. Oh my god, the relief I felt. Then I'm like, okay, let's just get this signing done. Thankfully, it was a seller signing. There was only one notarization. So the couple came back from Jamba Juice. My notary still wasn't there. So I said, you know what? They were like, did you find your notary stamp? And I was like, thankfully, yes, it has been located. I'll figure that out later. Let's get your signing done. So I was like, you know what? Let's get started. Let's get through the signing, because there's only one notarization, which was the grant deed. By the time my notary gets here, I can just have her handle the notarization part. I called her. She was like, I'm 5 minutes away. Got them through the seller signing. My notary got there probably midway through. Had her do the notarization portion. Had her do the grant deed. Mind you, this whole time I'm in the office, one of my number one clients, they're like all the way in the back. They have no idea none of this is happening, okay? And mind you, I still get all of this done in less than an hour, okay? A seller signing, typically without all of this happening, I would have been done in like 15-20 minutes, but it took me right under an hour start to finish with all of this shit, right? So I'm thinking to myself, oh my God, these signers are going to be like, this bitch is crazy. They're going to probably leave me a bad review. How am I going to explain this to my EOs? Again, luckily, they didn't even know any of this happened. So I got through the signing, and my notary, like I said, she handled the notarization point. Got through the signing, got the signers on their way in less than an hour still. They were so understanding. They were like, we're just glad that you found your stamp. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm so thankful that they were so understanding, you guys. And they left me a positive review. Can you believe that? Let me take another sip just for them on that. Hold on. I saw a review from the consumer. They left me a positive. Understanding is an understatement. They are saints. Thanked my notary, like, oh my God, you saved me. Like, this was a miracle. You know, made sure I compensated her, you know, for coming over and saving my butt. And then I'm like, okay, let me call this signer that I was at Saturday and figure out when I can get my stamp. Because you know what, as this happened today, it reminded me of so many things. First of all, I need to do a better job of guarding my stamp. It reminded me how vital this stamp is to my life. It is my bread and butter. It's how I eat. It makes money for me every single day, and without it, I would be effed up. You know, we are charged to keep our stamps locked in a safe place. I know I just put it out my bag, but I do have a case for it. Like I said, I'm not gonna even make any excuses for myself, because of what happened was totally unacceptable. For the fact that it had been at a signer's house since Saturday, and today is Tuesday. I don't even know if I should be saying this publicly, but I had to share this with you guys. But it reminded me, and my husband reminded me as well, like, I got to do a better job of guarding something that's so important. This is my 4th year in business. I've done a very good job of that thus far, but this was a major slip up for me. And it was only by the grace of God that I was able to get through it the way that I got through it. But it was a huge reminder to me that I need to guard my items way better than I did today. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to read to you guys verbatim what the California notarial law says. Shout out to California Notary University. And if you're not already a student, what are you waiting for? Go to CaliforniaNotaryUniversity.com right now and join us, okay? Because you need to know what the California notarial law says as far as your duties and responsibilities. So I'm going to read to you directly what the law says in regards to losing your notary stamp, which I cannot believe I did it. But anyway, this is what the California notarial law says. It says notaries public who have lost their stamp or journal must send a letter immediately by certified mail to the Secretary of State explaining what happened to their stamp or journal, and if applicable, a photocopy of a police report. The letter should include your typed or printed name, notary public commission number, and your signature. If your journal was lost, include the time period of the journal entries and the expiration date of your commission in a letter. Upon written request, the Secretary of State will send a duplicate certificate of authorization so you can have a new stamp made. Okay, so that's California Government Code sections 8206 and 8207 3 section E. You guys, that's why my heart left my body, because it's like our stamp we have to guard with our life, because there's tons of people out there who want to commit fraud. And yeah, I just can't believe that I was that irresponsible. So I learned quite a bit, quite a big of a lesson today. And I'm going to tell you something about me, especially when it's come to this business and making mistakes, because we will make mistakes. We are human, things happen. But it takes me one time and one time only. That will never happen again. You guys have to drop down in the comments and let me know, has this happened to you? If you have any suggestions or safeguards that keep you from not making a crazy mistake I just made. My husband had a good suggestion, and that was to attach my keys to the attach my keys to the pouch that my stamp goes into. So maybe if my keys, which I can't leave a place without my car keys, is attached somehow to where I keep my stamp, that'll keep me from making this mistake again. I don't know, you guys. Let me know. I thought it was a good idea, and I believe I'm going to implement it. I have this handy dandy key pouch that I keep my keys in, so I won't lose my keys. Obviously, I'm kind of prone to, if I have to be honest, my personality, I'm kind of prone to being a little unorganized and I lose stuff. And so this was really not outside of my personality, but I've done a really good job over the years on putting things in place and safeguarding so I don't make mistakes that are so costly. So this key pouch has helped me not lose my keys, because I have lost my keys before. So maybe I need to somehow integrate that with my Notary key pouch and keep them together. What do you guys think? I don't know. Drop down in the comments, because we really need to talk about this. And I'm gonna go finish my wine. Like, share, subscribe. Get down in the comments. Let's talk. I'm so glad to connect with you guys. It's been a minute. Yeah, let's chat. All right, like, share, subscribe. I'll see you in the next video. Peace out. Love you guys. Bye.